Damn, that's crazy. Anyways, hi guys. It's your boy. Me. But I'm recording. The DM. Why? Neutral's out with family. A little bit too difficult for him, so I'm gonna take up the
Thank you.
mantle. Sadly, I don't know how to do Discord overlay and all that sort of cool shit, so sadly we're missing out on that. But that's okay. We're having a session, and that's the most important part about this shit. Everything's picking up fine. Cool. So, recaps. Scuffed as usual. Last session, our party, decided to, you know, just minorly discuss some of the ongoings and update each other on information they found out regarding, Deidrin's downfall, and just kind of formalizing a plan and how to work around that. And they decided to head off towards Lust. On their way, they, kind of ran into this foggy patch of land and slowly started to lose themselves, soon to all be ambushed by Wendigo, which was swiftly dealt with. Y'all are fucking menaces. Soon enough, coming into contact with Lust, this truly beautiful grove, and just a place of non-violence and peacefulness. Eventually getting to have a conversation with Lust and be able to understand what it takes to get this artifact. And they were left with two choices. Either each one of them sacrificed the memory of a loved one, or someone they all know will become an enemy. After a little bit of debate, sarcasm there, they all decided, why not? Whoever's our enemy, we could fuck them up. Boy, did they fuck up. They don't know who it is, but I know. And with that... Oop, go on.
However,
However,
the MVP. Go on, Yeet.
I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. In typical bard fashion.
Our
For the
friend,
first
the
time in this
stereotype.
campaign, Maxer goes, "Hey Yeet, can I roll to seduce Lust?" In my head, I said, In my head, I'm like, yeah, DC 50 is fair. He rolls. Has like a 19 plus his fucking absurd modifier, so he's already at 30. Or like something like that, like mid-30s. Like, it's possible, maybe. He uses his own inspiration on himself because of the fucking bard shit. Getting in the 40s. There's only a small chance now. That one little itsy-bitsy chance to get that. And how? Birthday inspiration, rolls the d20, gets a 15, gets 50 fucking 5.
57.
57, eat my ass.
Easy.
Not only is Maxer, you know, the child of a goddess, thus making him a godling, he seduced the aspect of lust. The benefits, or the downside, has yet to be experienced.
Oh shit! I didn't think that far ahead.
No, you didn't.
But we'll find out. And they were sent home. Interrupted by the weird creature that they had encountered in that interdimensional plane, which was frankly just decimated. And the party finds themselves inside their keep's walls. Looking around, the cold air instantly hits you. When y'all left, it was around springtime.
Fucking Faewild!
And you see the
Cool.
snow sitting there, just kind of easily going down. Just a slight breeze in the air. Standing there, in a patch without snow, you see Bomb shoveling snow into his mouth.
Oh.
He just looks over and goes,
Bomb, how long have we been gone?
7 months.
7.
no.
That's not that bad.
Uh,
7 months isn't that bad.
I guess it's.
it could have been worse.
It could have
It
been
could
worse,
have
but
been worse.
also a lot of things could have happened in 7
That-
months.
That is true. Let's just
so
check.
much could happen in 7 months.
No,
Let-
stay right here.
let's-
I have work to do. All right. First things first. It's been 7 months. Second thing, we need to figure out if people we know are still here.
And
That's what I.
what is where exactly are we?
We're in our keep.
Inside or like at
Inside the
front?
walls of the keep, yeah.
Okay.
Outside
okay.
the
In the
keep.
courtyard.
I'm gonna
In the
scry,
courtyard. Okay.
Oh,
and I want to see if my father would be where he usually would be,
Fair, fair.
because I know what I chose and I asked.
oof. Okay, yeah. So you're easily able to scry on your father.
Is he in a normal kind of like place I can think of?
You see, like, as you take some time to focus in, you see your vision kind of fade in. You see your father talking with an individual. At the moment, they seem to be outside of the vision of the scry, but you pick up your father saying, "Yes, I understand the implications of such things, but you must trust me. These things will work out very well, you see. I do not know the well-being of him. I don't even know when they will return. But I'm waiting. And when the time comes, I will speak with him about such things. Do you understand?" And you hear the voice on the other end. "Oh yes, I understand such things and all, but time is passing by more and more every day. They're growing impatient." And the scribe fades away.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's an unfamiliar voice to you.
Okay. Alright. Next scry I'm gonna use with my class not the feature, but just through the moon.
Gotcha.
I'm going to scry and calamate.
You don't have a physical possession of Calamite. Correct?
Correct.
Well, oh my god. Alright. Take some time. And you see you see him in his pitch black tiefling form.
Mhm.
And what seems to be somewhat of a rather like noble like attire. Standing there drumming his fingers on what seems to be this very finely crafted table.
Mhm.
You kind of see him grab a glass and sip. He sets it down. What is it going to take for such things? And you look, you can see there's another individual there. An individual you've never seen.
Okay.
A man that has about hip-length hair. Just this very light brown, very smiling complexion. Seems to be human. He's just kind of smiling the entire time. Well, my friend, as you said previously, things are not working out for you very well at all. They have not returned. He's not coming back. She's not coming back. You can't get her back. You used her up. And this is what you have to deal with now. So, either you get the assistance you need, or, well, we're coming for you. Calamite says, "Is that so? Is this supposed to be a threat?" No. I don't threaten. I simply predict the future. And the scry ends.
Is that voice familiar?
It's an individual
No.
you've never seen.
Never. Another one. Okay. So two new faces and interesting.
And
Okay.
you challenge your approaches.
All right. I'll relay this to the group. So Cal and my father are still here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to have changed, but they both seem to be at the ends of striking bargains or deals. A lot has happened, it seems, since then. But it seems that Cal is in a very unwanted scenario. He has to bargain or making a deal with someone, and he's not making up ends. As for my father, I think he was making references to when we would come back, but about what happened with Lust, I don't sense anything malicious.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all for now. I'll try to look on others if you want me to look for them, but if you think of who could potentially be, I mean, this is Lust and it would be at random, but who that we know would be the biggest threat to all of us, other than for namesake of just acquaintanceship and family or friends, whomever.
Well, I hope this isn't the case, but we should make our way to its capital. Hopefully, maybe not the king was not turned into our enemy. That would be very bad.
Should we then? We should send just one person to scout, or at least
I
give
will
an
go
idea.
then.
Can you
Yes.
stay? I mean, I know you're very good at
I
being
can slip
unnoticed.
past.
All right, I think. Don't take the portal.
No, I will.
Won't that take a while though?
It's probably better that he doesn't, just in case. But still, we should see if the portal even works.
You see,
Oh,
at this
just
point,
I'll wait
Bomb,
to I'll wait to do that. So you do your thing.
at this point, Bomb pipes up. Yeah, the portal still works.
Is Casper still alive?
Yes, but you kind of see Bomb hesitate for a little bit. It's best to leave him on his own for now. He's not here at the
What's
moment.
wrong with him? Where is he?
His
What have
fiance
we
is
missed?
passed.
What happened to her? How'd she die?
No one knows, not even he. She was murdered.
In her sleep?
No. She was out and about.
On this keep grounds?
I'm
it was
I'm
out
tapping
here.
my feet I'm tapping my feet very rapidly. Can I go into the keep now?
Yeah, you can go in.
I just hurriedly run towards the keep. I just want to make sure who's there and who's not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Gray.
You're good.
Who else died?
Everyone else is still here.
What her body look like?
You kind of see Balm just kind of look off in the distance. Not well.
Bomb, was there a body?
Pieces.
Oh no.
Oh,
Where was she at?
Outside of the Dwarven capital in the mountains.
What? Why was she?
Yeah, what was she doing there?
She told Jasper she was going to look for some herbs because she was wanting to learn herbalism.
No. Maybe she got attacked by harpies.
Could be anything.
Eh?
Damn.
Jasper,
Where is he right now?
I don't know. He's been quiet. It's been
Has he been a...
It's been a little over 3 weeks since this happened.
Hmm.
He hasn't spoken.
I see. Well, I'm going to start making my way towards the capital. I will go on foot.
Ah,
well.
go ahead.
If you find anything of note, contact me.
I know how to. Don't worry.
Alright.
Do you have enough supplies?
I'll be fine.
At this
I'll
point,
go see my father.
Yeah, at this point, Naruto speaks up and she looks to you, Kain.
Mhm.
Would you like to take the faster method?
I suppose, yeah.
Very well. She kind of
No,
like,
they never seen her before, or won't really think. No, it's a good idea.
I assure you, a silver dragon is not a bad omen.
Oh, I most certainly know.
But I will revert to my normal, the preferred form that you speak to me in, when we get closer.
Alright.
Yeah. So, both y'all go ahead and step out and begin y'all's travel.
Mm-hmm.
Prok, you said you're going to, see your father?
See my father. Yep.
Okay. You just kind of begin making your way there. And you go over to his hut, and as you kind of like pull the cloth aside, you like just bump into someone.
Hmm.
And you look up. You see this burlesque half-orc female with like just a single braid just dripping down to about her waist. She just kind of looks at you and gives you a grin and goes, "My boy."
Mama?
Of course.
Oh, I start backing up. Oh, 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 well. You know me?
Well, of course, you're my boy.
You didn't. I forgot. You didn't.
At this point, you see Tor walk over, and he just kind of puts his hand on your shoulder.
I look at his arm. Does it still have the
Yeah.
word on his arm?
Her name is still engraved in his arm. And he looks to you, and he says, "You made a different decision than I did. I recall
What?
the events and the occurrences of previous lifetime.
I see. How many?
Just the one when I lost her."
Oh,
Wow. I just give my mother a big old hug.
She picks you up.
Oh,
Damn.
Dad, could she beat you up?
She
No.
Tiri
Now I have the
says,
better.
Tiri
No.
goes,
Oh,
Tiri
okay.
goes, "I believe I can." Tor goes, "No. I think I'm much more capable."
So, in orc culture, women don't get knocked up. Men get knocked up.
Brutal. What has happened while I was gone? I've been gone 7 months. My mother and father. What's been going on? What's the what do I what have you been doing, mother? What memories do you have?
I recall, it seems like I've lived this life, but haven't. It's almost like what wasn't there was filled in.
Well, I guess you could help us with the goal then.
I suppose.
That's all that matters in the end. Well, it's good to that you exist.
It's good to exist.
I guess so. I guess so. Father, what has been happening? It's been 7 months. One of my underlings, his wife died. What's going on?
Things have been calm around the keep besides that. Nothing too special. dwarves have begun to make their move on expanding their domain.
Why would they expand in times like this?
I'm unsure. It's orders of the king.
Oh, we can go talk to him later. Hope he's alright. Oh, have you seen my pets?
They've been well. I've been taking care of them personally.
Good. Good. What about the big one in the forest?
I've not been able to find him.
I'll go find him. Well, but where's my brother?
Your brother's currently in the capital. There's a fight pit going on, so he's entertaining himself.
That's what you love to hear. Well, mother, father, it was good to see you. I must go see my other pet. Nice to meet you, mother. I shake her hand. And I bow, and then I just start walking towards the forest.
Yeah, whenever you shake her hand, she just kind of lays her hand on like the back of your head, and then like puts both of your foreheads together. Leans back, headbutts the shit out of you.
Dang.
Love you too, mother. I start walking towards the forest.
Alright.
His cranium bleeding.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm good at these.
Believe.
Leave.
Guys, I'm good
Oh
at
yeah.
these.
Let's go.
What's that total, buddy?
Hey, I'm up to see
You
it, bro.
fall into a pit.
That's a 6. Run it up.
Yeah.
Run it up.
Alright, you take probably about like an hour or so just kind of wandering through the forest. And you go to where like his lodging used to be. It's not there anymore.
Strange. I scratch my head. Oh, don't tell me. He wouldn't do that. He's my pet. He might do that. Yeah, he might do that. No, he definitely did that. God damn it! I just grab out my sword and I just start walking towards the mountains, towards where Mom said Casper's wife died at.
Okay. So what's everyone at the keep doing?
I kind of just storm through the doors.
I go inside, or I investigate around the keep, like in the courtyard.
Okay. Not much going on in the courtyard. It's just as usual, not too much happening. Lelelele, as you storm in, you hear a clattering of like dishes, and you see in front of you Amnesty and about like 12 broken plates. She just tackle hugs you.
Oh.
I dropping to the floor, I kind of just hug her back and say, yep, you beat me to it.
I was starting to get worried.
I stand back up and I'm kind of carrying her above me, and I put her back on her feet. I'm happy you're okay, Amnesty. Is everyone else alright, just the same?
Yes, everyone has been well, besides, Jasper.
Oh. I'm going to just assume she runs me down on the same situation as before, that the rest of the party was... Oh god. Well, that's odd.
Yes,
I guess we'll have to leave him be for a little bit.
I do believe that would be the smartest move. Fran has been accepted into the Mages Academy in Tora.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. She's really moving up in the world.
Yes, so she doesn't, she lives there now, but she still comes here every now and then.
Okay, that's good.
She's been checking. Anytime she comes in, she says, "Are they back yet?"
Oh,
She missed
okay.
them.
I'll go to the college as soon as I'm allowed to.
at this point.
Have you heard anything about the capital? Is there anything that's different?
They're expanding. And she kind of gives you the same rundown
Mm-hmm.
that Prok
Oh,
had.
okay. 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 Well, nothing bad. No skeletons that look like dead friends. No, no zombies, monsters, tax collectors. Nothing.
None of that.
Okay. Okay, good. I kind of just breathe out and just give her just a kiss on the forehead, and I just, all right. And I kind of just wave her goodbye and rejoin my friends outside.
Okay. At this point,
Wait.
Max, Max, Lucas, what are y'all doing?
Max, do you want to go first?
Wait. So, wait, Lust came with us, right?
No.
Or
Nope.
no? Okay, never mind. Wait. Okay. Then.
She's not ready to move in with her boyfriend yet.
Damn, so quick.
I wanna. Well, I guess check my room, see how everything is.
Okay, you head inside. Amnesty kind of gives you, like, the same greeting and everything like that. Very
Oh, yeah.
giddy to see you. Crouching down to give you a hug. Room's clean. Immaculate.
Wow.
You also notice that there seems to be, like, a little hand-built, almost kind of like a bird box, except for a, much smaller, creature. Well, not much smaller, but similar size. And it just kind of
Nice.
peeks its head out, sees you,
Hey,
and then
Nobu.
just kind of comes over and just wraps itself around your neck.
Hey, nice to see you too. Yeah, well, guess that's it.
Okay, Lucas?
First off, I'll greet Amnesty just to let them know I'm actually around still, too.
Oh no, she knows about you very well. She actually excitedly drags you into where you usually rest, and she shows you that a whole new bookshelf and new books.
Alright. This is actually very good. One moment, there's still something I need to do. As I just head out towards the circle.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm gonna go to the town. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the town. I'm gonna check on Elba.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
Alright. And, Squall, what are you doing?
I'll wait for Engage to do his thing if he wants to do anything.
Sure.
Let's see. I've already checked around the courtyard. Let's go inside and see what's going around. See if I notice anything or see anything.
Amnesty gives you the warm greeting that she's been giving everybody so far.
Well,
Peeking
then,
outside and noticing the new follower that you have.
Oh yes, don't mind them. They will stay outside and not bother you.
Okay.
They're on our side. Be wary. So, I'll go to the room where I stayed before.
Mhm.
And, start to rest. Because, I need to get my spells back and stuff.
Sure thing. Alright. On to Squall.
Alright. I just kind of been pacing in the courtyard, thinking what my next move should be. I kind of see Amnesty going in and out and greet people and take them back in, and see some very generous and just happy rekindling occurring. And
At this
don't
point,
hear I don't hear any. Oh, go ahead.
At this point, your sister kind of taps you on your back. Thought, this is your home.
When did you? How did you?
I'm not entirely sure. I was staying where you told me to in the Faewilds, and now I'm here.
I see. Yes, and yes. Let me get introduced to, I guess, everyone else here, and you can shadow me if you wish afterward. But there's some things I need to attend, so I'll kind of guide her in, kind of.
Okay.
Hello, we have a guest.
Amnesty
Hello.
kind of excitedly rushes forward and begins kind of like
Ah.
showering her with compliments, being like, "Oh,
Oh,
your
okay.
scales are so nice," and all this sort of stuff. And
Oh, okay. No hugs. I understand. I see. No.
Amnesty looks over to you and she's like, "It's a new guest."
Yes. Well, go ahead, Amber. Introduce yourself.
Greetings, I'm Amber. I am his sister. And Amnesty goes, "Oh, you're his sister." And she kind of goes over to you, Squall, and begins like scratching like under your chin.
Wait, how do you know that I like that? You've been around Dragonborn often? Oh, that was very nice. Thank you. I think I understand why dogs do that now. Interesting.
But yeah,
Amnesty is the little one here?
which one?
Wait. There's another friend here? Wait, are you referring to anyone smaller than me, or?
Well,
I was referring to friend.
Friend is she kind of gives you to run down with the Mage Academy.
Oh. Very good. There's a little really faint tear comes across my cheek. That's good to hear.
And
What if?
Gree has
Yes.
been doing well also.
Okay, good. What about friend's protector? Where's Fel?
He has officially been adopted by the Mages Academy.
Oh. I hope he doesn't get dissected, but good.
No. Fran was a very big advocate in not wanting to leave him behind.
I see. Good.
And she was eventually able to persuade them to allow it lodging in the stables.
She is
Climate
a very...
controlled and everything.
Oh. Impressive. I guess those mages aren't a chop off the old block after all. Anyway, thank you. I heard that, well, through Bomb earlier, that one of our extended family is no longer here with us.
Indeed. I just,
It hasn't even been a month, has it?
No.
Has she been buried?
Yes.
Is she around? I would at least wish to pay patronage, at least.
She kind of just, you kind of see her get this now like somber look in her eyes. She kind of looks at you. Don't bring her back.
Wait, no, hold on. Out of character. How would she know that I could do that?
She's been around your group enough and has listened in on many a conversation.
Because I'm pretty sure that
You're not the first group of adventurers Amnesty has taken care of.
Okay.
She can tell you're a druid very clearly, and she knows the capabilities of all of you.
It's probably what you want, right? Not to.
It'd be best to let bygones be bygones.
I see. Thank you. I'll adhere to that. And
Thank
he
you.
needs time still, I'm sure. Well, can I at least tidy up wherever she's buried? Make it a little more accommodating?
Of course.
Or is that
I can bring the two of you out there right away.
it's no rush. I just maybe later.
Very well.
This evening. Actually, what time is it?
It seems like it's a little bit before midday.
This evening will do. I'll try to remind you.
Very well. Okay. I will be here.
Well, Ember, this is the foyer, and this up there is the where more of our compatriots have their living quarters. I think that over there is Lelelele's room, and there on the other side, I believe, is Maxi's room. And well, I don't have a room. I sleep outside. I feel better that way.
It's different from home, isn't it?
Yes, it's still taking some time to get used to. It is nice to have a very elaborate kitchen with amnesty at its heat. Anyway, well, shall you shadow me? I have some other things to do. You can observe as just do my druidic work. Unless you wish to tag along with someone else.
She just kind of gives you like just a light hug. She says, I think I'm just gonna go take a look around. It's been a while since I've been back.
I see. Well, when you want to, I can take you back to the village whenever you at your behest.
I will meet you this evening.
Okay. Please do not get lost. I have this sinking suspicion that you're going to wander and get yourself caught up in another trans-dimensional charade.
I am prone to that, aren't I?
Oh.
Alright, so, oh, what happened?
I wanted to cast.
You're muffled as hell.
I don't know why. My mic didn't move. Now I moved it back closer.
There you are.
Is that better?
Yep.
You're fine.
Weird. Anyway. I'm gonna go outside and just meditate in the courtyard.
Mhm.
Very similar to where I've always been. Yeah, I'm gonna cast my second 5th level spell to scry.
On.
Scott.
Take some time. You begin. Seems like you're beginning to creep in, and it's blocked out.
Traveling somewhere. Interesting. Or he's grown. Alright, well, I put the damper on things. Alright. Now for the big one. Please tell me if this is metagaming, because you just told me about it. But I, Squall, to Yeet, going to cast an 8th level spell.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
And there's a sinking suspicion in the back of my mind after all our latest interaction with lust and knowing of pride's demise.
Yeah.
I want to conjoin my spell focus with the Philosopher's Stone and cast Scry. With all the knowledge that is held within the Philosopher's Stone and try to amplify it to more than one plane. I need to find Ven.
Boy.
Will you allow this? Is this within the power of this item?
It's odd. Gazing into the stone. You kind of... Some snow kind of just gets in your eye a little bit, makes you instinctually blink. And then you're walking. You hear a rustle to your side, and the vision goes over, but it's not you turning your head. And you can see what just seems to be like a deer grazing in some grass on what seems to be the cusp of a forest. In just a second, the deer is just splattered against a tree, and you can see this arm, pale white, with just this moving symbols. It just continues walking. And then you begin to hear thoughts. I have not been able to sense them. Where are they? Where is it? What was I doing?
I try to influence the arm as if it was my own against the other will. Just a really slight
You have this
movement.
thought in your mind, and you seem to try to implement it, but nothing really happens.
Okay. I keep listening and just observing, feeling, tasting, hearing.
The thoughts are very scattered and nonsensical. They don't really have an order to them. They're just kind of bouncing around.
Chaotic.
It's almost like there's multiple voices speaking at the same time in one head. And then the scry fades.
I see. Was it on this plane?
Seemed like the material plane.
Okay. Alright. I visibly sweat and my arm feels tense, like it overexerted itself for some odd reason. Because I was in his mind, wasn't I?
Indeed.
Okay. That'll be my bit.
Okay. Kain, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
As you notice Arena flying, it's a fairly quiet flight.
Mhm.
Notice Arena eventually breaks the silence at one point. Did you see what I saw? In the Faewilds? What we were told about Father?
Yes.
Come home. Should we?
It's worth looking into.
We'll see how things are in the capital, and then, if you wish, we can make our way there.
Yes.
Very well. So who's all going to the Dwarven capital? Because Kain is.
I'll go.
Engage will go.
I'm already heading there.
Lucas is going.
Going towards the mountains.
Alright.
He's going in the opposite direction.
No.
Actually, no, he is actually going in the right direction because they are in the mountains.
Yeah. And Lelelele, are you going to the capital as well?
No, I said I would leave as soon as I'm allowed to by my party. So I'm just staying at the capital. I'm staying at the keep is what I meant to say.
Okay, so you're
I'm
just
just
resting.
yeah. I'm just sitting on the balcony looking into the forest.
Okay. Well, because everybody's gonna fucking arrive at different times for it. That's gonna be annoying. Lucas would be there first, accompanied by Engage, since you're both teleporting.
Yeah, I was
there.
basically in. Yeah, I could teleport.
Yeah, but the teleportation circle is just a 10-minute casting time.
Oh yeah, true, and it's right there by the rooms, aren't they? Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yep, no, not at all, not at all. But you both arrive. Capital looks a bit different from what it used to. Seems to be flourishing more. It's a lot
Like
more.
flourishing good, or just like flourishing in a lot of people.
Both.
Okay.
Where the teleportation circle was now is now just this like large gazebo, and it has like multiple individuals like kind of greeting, and you see other people are coming through the teleportation circle as well. And you
Oh.
look around, and it's much more diverse. There's all sorts of individuals, and you look, and you can see that the buildings are standing taller than they used to, have more grand decorations, and are more dynamic.
Does this place look a little different to you?
Well, yes. 7 months have passed. Looks good for the place.
But do you think they could have made all these changes in 7 months?
I mean, this gazebo itself wouldn't take that long.
But I'm saying all the other buildings, everything looks so much more bigger and elaborate.
There is magic that can be used to fabricate everything. If you think about it.
True. I
This
just
world
would
is
think
different.
you would think it would be a little longer than 7 months, but magic does make a change for everything.
Don't forget, dwarves are hardy people. They really like to build.
True. I've only ever been around dwarves in passing, so I've never been to one of their capitals. It's really interesting to see how productive they are.
I met a couple of them in the Underdark. Those ones were not as nice as these. But they still worked as hard.
I have yet to. So like, what exactly is around a gazebo? Like, is a gazebo like open-ended, or is it like closed with like doors?
It's open-ended. You can see these pedestals, and coming up to one of the pedestals, they have maps that are available to take that kind of give the layout of the city and everything. And there's a few dwarves there that are just like, "Hey, welcome to Torn, the greatest capital in all the lands."
My two zombies aren't with me. They stayed at the keep, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, wait. Well, hello there. Where could I find the herbalist?
If they go in the shopping district, and they kind of give you this thing, and it's like a festival map. Everything's like labeled.
Okay. Like a theme park map.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I have a map as well?
Why, of course, my good friend. Here you go. Not every day we get to have drow guest.
Half drow, but as well as I wish we had the.
Jeremy?
You cut out.
Oh.
Hello?
Jeremy?
Jam.
Oh boy.
I think he done sauced out.
Oh no. Well, huh.
Oh, I don't know what happened to him. So,
Let's just give him a. Oh, okay.
yeah. So engage. Are you gonna make your way to the herbalist?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way to the herbalist. And,
Okay.
So, I didn't get to do much of the training of trying to condense, but I do want to try to get some more information on seeing if there's other strains and stuff.
Well, for that's not gonna be at any herbalist.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
may have to go to more divert means.
Ah, I see. So just walk around until I find a homie. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna stroll around the market district, just kind of. Actually, let me see if there's anything that can help me with this.
Just roll a d20 for me.
Roll a d20. Okay, I roll that.
Okay. After about like 20 minutes of strolling around, you kind of notice this guy just kind of saunter up next to you as y'all are just walking, and he's like, you seem like a man who likes to peruse relaxation agents.
Oh yes, I quite do. As I kind of lean my staff towards him and just sort of like hint at the burn marks.
Oh, now that's an interesting contraption, my friend. I do greatly like that.
Oh yes, this one I actually made myself. Just a little bit of whittling and such.
Quite impressive. So you sell, buy, which is?
I just am interested in comparing. Cause I've been curious just to see if there's a other variant of certain herbs.
Indeed we do. We do have sell a multitude of things. We have enhancers, some DW, and a few other surprises. But what catches your fancy?
The enhancers. I haven't had anything like that. It's mostly relaxers.
Ah. Oh yes, donkey wonks. I would go based off that stuff and your slim physique. I'd say you're more into the magics.
Yes.
I have some things to make you pop off a bit more.
Oh? I would be very interested in something like that, especially with my expertise.
Of course. And You watch as he kind of pulls out what seems to be this kind of like fine powder. Kind of like this lime greenish hue to it. This here, my friend, is Mage's Delight.
Ooh.
For just a little bit, just a short amount of time, it can amplify your magic. But there's a slight after effect, and I'm not here to be some shady guy. What I do is already shady enough, so I need to tell you about the after effects as well. Typically after the time is up, you find it very difficult to concentrate.
I see. Okay. So, what type of supply do you have upset?
Currently with me, I have about 10 doses.
10 doses? And what coin do they run?
A dose alone will probably run you about 15 gold, but buy it all together, I'll knock it down to just 100 instead of 150.
Well, my friend, you got yourself a deal.
Kinda just sticks his hand out, waiting.
I use one of my tentacles to pull out a little sack of 100 gold and hand it to him.
He takes it and just kind of gives you like a pat on the stomach, and you can see now you just kind of have this pouch, and in the pouch each one has its own container, so that way you know the doses are measured and everything.
Okay.
Anything else you'd wish to peruse?
Now let me ask you this: what other enhancements and or let's say I'm also looking for something to give to someone to make them, well, a little off their edge.
Oh, you wish to weaken them.
Yes, you catch on.
That's... Now we're getting into the dangerous territory, but I do have something.
As he says dangerous, I just was like, well, and I like pull over one of my sacks that has all the skeletons in it, and I kind of open it up, and a hand comes out and kind of like hit the hither thing. Dangerous isn't too big of a deal for me.
Oh, I follow. This one's a bit more situational. It must be ingested.
It must be ingested. Okay.
Yes. It is called Blue Days.
Days.
And he kind of shows you this, like, very fine, like, powder. Like, coarser than sand. This, my friend, will, keep the opponent, off balance and off focus, making them, you know, less likely to be able to concentrate, and, if they were to, you know, take a swing at you, it might be a little disadvantageous.
I see. Okay. And when you say ingest, do they have to eat, or does it just have to get into the body?
It has to be eaten.
I see. So it has to be digested. Got it.
So there's a bit of planning that comes with this one.
Ah, yes. Oh, I've already kind of cooked something up as we talk.
Wonderful.
So how many doses do you have of those, and what is a coin?
At the moment, I have 8. And since you've already been such a kind patron, I'll knock down the price a bit to, would you like all 8, or what kind of money are you working with?
Well, give me the price of all 8.
For all 8 with, the brother discount, you're looking at probably about 700 gold.
Kinda hefty there.
Yes, but a minute of your time is very dangerous.
Yeah, it seems worth it though. I'll take half of that though. Don't really actually. Oh man, give me all 8.
Very well. Sticks his hand out again.
And another tentacle comes out and hands him another sack of gold, this time a little bigger, a little heavier.
Nice. Alright, go ahead and deduct 700 gold.
I'll come back.
Done did.
Alright, and again, you're just gonna
Come back.
he kind of gives you a pat on the chest.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, much appreciated for the business. But I
Now-
don't think we should push our luck too much further.
Yeah, we shouldn't, but I have one question.
Of course.
Do you know of any worth to purple worm teeth?
Oh, purple worm.
Because I have no idea what they're used for, and I have a few of those in my pocket.
Oh shit, I forgot to help people with that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know too much about purple worm teeth, unfortunately, but I do know that the poison can go for quite the hefty sum. But you
I
need
see.
to, as I do, sell to the right individuals.
Gotcha, okay.
It can
Well,
get you into a lot of trouble.
yes, I understand. Well, as you said, let's not push our luck, and I appreciate you, good sir. Till we meet again.
Till we meet again.
And I saunter off towards, and just peruse the market some more.
Okay. Welcome back, Jeremy. Hope everything's doing alright, man.
Yeah, just having a storm here. I knew it was gonna be coming, and I forgot to tell you guys.
Oh, no problem, dude. We were worried about you.
Drugs.
Yeah, alright. It's
Yep.
more or less like my power may trip again. I don't have a phone. I don't have anything, so I can't really tell you guys.
Yeah. You just missed a fucking drug deal.
Okay, fair enough.
But,
I mean, he is a connoisseur of herbalism.
so I guess you're gonna make your way to Albus?
It's like chances are that dwarf does know, like, out of character. The whole like group is known as the Brave Souls, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the dwarf and just go, the Brave Souls are back.
Just kind of looks to you. Ooh.
Fair enough. And I guess I'll just head to... I guess I'll look at the brochure, because I probably needed this for, like... I probably needed this 7 months ago. Before I was led around, and I was like, yeah, this is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna head towards Elba's.
Very well. As you're making your way over, as you kind of approach, and you notice Wilfred's shop has now absorbed the 2 buildings next door to it, like on the left and right side, and it's probably gone up like another 2 stories.
I should probably not go in there before Kain does.
Yep. And you look over to Albus, still seems the same.
I go up to Alba's door.
Mhm.
I think about knocking in the code, but I'm just like, no, I shouldn't do that, because then Aeon would know that we know. So I'm just going to just open the door normally.
You open it, and it is massive. The interior does not match the exterior. You are looking at just this, almost like a showroom. Like you're in a Smithsonian looking at like things in like glass cases. And you see like a half-elven woman come over to you. Never seen her before. She says, "Ah, yes, welcome to Alba's Antiquities. What could we be of assistance with?"
May I speak with Alba?
She's very, very busy currently, but
Tell her it's Lucas.
okay. You kind of see her wander off to the bag. At which point, you see Alba just kind of walk over to the counter, look over. Where the hell have you been?
I would like to know that as well. We were stuck I'm just going to look at her and just go, we were stuck in some type of fusion between Shadowfell, Faewild, and something else. We jumped off of a bridge, ended up in the Faewild. We had to stay there for a while, traveling. Everybody wanted, everyone wanted not a serene, so we had to deal with that. There was this jester around, too. Then we met some people from, Aeon's time before. They were nice. Yeah, then we met some people. We, basically, made someone a new king. Then we decided to travel and find Lust, who brought us back here after we made a deal. We're all still alive.
That was about to be my next question. It's good to see you.
We added a new person.
Huh.
Technically, we didn't lose anybody, but we brought someone back. Sorry. To us, it felt like maybe 4 or 5 days tops. And yeah, we realized when we got back, 7 months have passed. We're just getting started. Yeah, this was basically one of the first places I stopped by. I'm sorry.
You see her just kind of give like a light smile. A lot's changed.
I see that. It looks the capital looks nice.
Yes.
Also, this shop, divine.
Yes, with certain events going on, I've been, trying to focus more on safety over quantity. Few of my, other planar stores have been, running into problems. Robberies, break-ins, attempted murders. The fun things.
Yeah.
Some nearly successful, and she kind of, comes around the counter now, and you see she's not wearing like a dress or anything. It's just like pants and a shirt, and she kind of like lifts up her shirt, and you can see like some bandaging around her like waist.
Interesting. Would you like me to heal that?
It's being taken care of.
Alright. I'm actually going to grab the telepathy stone and just message her in her head. Aeon, right?
Tilts her head. Replies back, no. No ties to him. I was very thorough with getting the information that I needed.
Alright. I'm gonna use the stone again and just go, well, we didn't. It's like, I'm just gonna talk to her in her head and just go, well, we do know he did order some people to, like, someone to kill you, and that would be the man with the droopy.
Fuck!
The man with the droopy cloak.
Oh, Jeremy, you fool boy!
Yeah,
Fool boy.
I'm only messaging her in her head. But I'm still
Oh.
just gonna do that.
So what? She replies back telepathically. So watch out for a droopy cloak individual. I don't see why a lich would have it out for me.
I'm not sure either, as I'm just still messaging in her head. But the man with the droopy cloak did let us know that did let us know of this, so he said he's not going to do it, but can't be sure.
You know, she replies in the same fashion that y'all been communicating. No, but the individual that was after me was actually Balix.
Yeah.
Which jogs your memory. Balix. That's a child of chaos.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Yeah, could be worse.
As Prok steps from the shadows.
Damn, you cross mountains fast.
He's a planeswalker. His real name
Oh,
is
no.
Jace.
Man, that past totem hitting different.
And then I'm just gonna stop using the stone and just go, either way, I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
It's good to be back. I thought we wouldn't make it back.
I was starting to get concerned.
Yeah, didn't really think 7 months.
But you're
How much
back.
time does you usually spend, like, the Faewild compared?
It varies. There's no ideal method. You have to exist there and have a deep grasp on interplanal travel to control when you return.
I see. That explains a lot. I don't know what to do from here. I think we're going to continue doing what we usually do. Trying to take down whatever we're trying to take down at this point.
Alba just kind of walks up to you and just lightly puts her hand on your shoulder. I think you should rest.
I think so too. I just wanted to let you know first that we're back home.
She just gives you a little kiss on the cheek. I appreciate that.
Thanks. I better get going. There's still much to check out.
Of
And
course.
there's people to check up on. We don't know if that Shadowfell fusion showed us their deaths or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot. I still may have trauma.
I think you're deeply troubled.
Yeah. Haven't rested for a bit. Haven't rested at all, really. Because Lucas doesn't rest.
Yeah.
Maybe I should relax and sleep for once.
I think you should too. Like you said, you just got back, and here you are already pushing yourself and looking at everything. Take some
Yeah.
time.
I don't think I'm thinking straight either.
Would you like to stay here for now, or would you like to go back to your cube?
This is how much I would like to stay here. They're going to worry if I'm not back.
Respectfully, I understand. Stay safe, Lucas.
You as well. And I hope I don't disappear for a long period of time again next time.
Yeah, no, the next time I might give up. Who knows?
To be honest, I wouldn't feel bad about it if you did. Even I wouldn't want to deal with somebody who's gone for like 7 months every week.
She just kind of like flicks you on your head. Go along.
Alright. As I turn around and then leave through the door.
Okay. Around this time, Kain, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Around this time, y'all are starting to approach the gate, and eventually Alba turns into her human form, and y'all are let in, because y'all are both recognized individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go? I mean, you see the grand display of what the capital is.
I like looked to her like, what the hell's happened?
Doors.
I know, but why so suddenly? Something must have spurred this.
I
Well, let's
suppose.
go meet with Wilfred.
Yes, I do believe that would be the most wise move. So, you'll make your way straight there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Not much trouble comes to either, y'all. And eventually you come over and you see the much larger shop that is Wilfred's.
Let's go up to the door and open it.
Yep. Kind of open it and you hear a little bell. And you just hear, "What? What? Hey, Grum! There's a guy up front. Go see him. Go meet him." "Yeah, shut up, you dog." You just you see this little stubby dwarf come over and he says, "Hey, welcome to Wilfred's. What can we do for... Hey, you... Hey, Grum, is this... Hey, I'm not... Grum? What's Grum? It's the guy with the face, Kain." "Yeah? Are you Kain?"
Yeah.
Oh shit, Wilfred would be happy to see you. Hey, well, let me go get him real quick and you see him hobble over. And you just hear, "Hey, Wilfred! Your boy's here!" You just hear, you just see a door get kicked open. "Hey, Kain!"
Yeah.
He just kind of runs over and just kind of fucking slaps you in your knee. "Where the fuck you been?"
Faewild.
"Oh. Nothing new.
You know, explains why we were gone so long.
Not a ain't it been too long. It's good to see you, Wilfred."
See you, everybody's been expanding lately.
Yeah, dude. Come grab a seat. Come grab a seat. I'll give you a rundown.
Yeah.
And he kind of brings you over to the side building, like kind of like the side room area. You see Faust resting indoors.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a very high ceiling. It's probably about a 15-foot ceiling over here, and you can see like what seems to be like big set of like oak double doors that open up. That's big enough for Faust to get it in and out through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I almost like to call Faust over. Faust.
Upon seeing you, Faust gets excited. The wings expand, knocking some chairs over, and then it kind of flinches, and then kind of calms the wings down and just comes run over and is just like nuzzling you.
I just kind of check him out. Has he healed properly from like the time he got really fucked up?
Oh, he seems a-okay.
Good to see you, buddy.
It just continues. Yep, it's a lot been going on. Mia's not home at the moment. She's in class.
Oh, good. You started school then.
Hey, not the kind of school you're thinking.
What kind of school is she in, Wilfred?
Well, she was out with some friends and they got into some trouble with some guards, and she was able to evade them very well, and word picked up because she's a fairly recognizable individual, being your child and all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guardsmen came here, and an alternative was, why not train her to be an assassin?
Well then.
She's a very crafty child.
Yeah, well, I did train her after all.
Yeah. But the king's are going a bit mad.
Oh. Is it due to him collecting the shards?
That's what I'd like to assume. He just ordered this expansion, and everyone's been following along, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he says, we're going to claim what Faewild was. We're going to expand. King's not here at the moment. He's currently where Faewild was. Guess he's making plans.
Well, alright then.
But business is booming, and more and more refugees from Faewild and smaller villages are moving here due to the lack of safety out there.
Right.
Which has, required all of us to adapt and stuff. Business has been booming. I've been busy as shit, so I just hired Grum and Grom. Pair of twins. Some little shits. But they learn quick, and they're damn good. Not nearly as good as me yet.
Well, they're give them a couple more 100 years.
Shit, you'd have to give them a couple of lifetimes. But, I'm glad you're back. I wasn't worried for a second.
Insight.
Go ahead. Shit.
A million.
Motherfucker's lying.
I'm not gonna let on that, Just kind of pat him on the shoulder. So, do you want me to catch you up on what's going on with us, then?
Hey, sure, give me the rundown.
Well, due to circumstances of, Aeon made a bargain with me. If I were to draw from the magical deck, he would give me information on where my father was.
Huh.
What I drew is what sent us all away.
Well, that's fun.
We ended up in, from what I can tell, some sort of in-between realm, where we were told the only way we could get out is if we faced a great trial. We then proceeded to cast ourselves off of a bridge, and we woke into the Faewild. From there, we encountered many things. Ran into some people from the first cycle, actually.
Mm.
Some of the people that were originally a party with Aeon, or back when he was still Gibraltar. We
Cool.
then started journeying our way towards Lust. And she gave us an option to obtain the artifact, since we know it was no chance of beating her in battle, as many of others have tried and failed. You were given the option to either forget someone, memory of someone, each important to us, or have someone we know become our enemy, and they would hold the relic.
Mm.
Before we made the decision, we concluded and figured out that if we chose to forget someone, they would cease to exist entirely. So we elected to choose to have someone we all know become our enemy. In doing so, she gave us the chance to bring someone back. And we have brought back Prok's mother.
Hey, Thierry.
Yes. See, now you remember her.
Yeah? She's always been here.
And she hasn't, though.
Oh,
Trust me when I say this, Wilfred.
You had my noggin, and you kind of see him pop open like a bottle of meat and just take a swig.
When I said, it's that we assumed that Torjaz made that same sort of choice back then, but he chose to forget someone. That being Thierry. Hence why no one remembered her.
Oh, you know, that's just upsetting.
Mm-hmm. I also... we actually also did locate my father, somewhat, through means of Squall.
Yeah?
He mentioned, apparently, to return home.
Yeah?
So maybe he's back out there in the Frostlands, waiting for us.
Well, you can point
We
over to Nadaserine. You got easy transport.
Yes, we debated going to check it out after we checked on things here.
That's so messed up. That's so messed up, Z. Oh my god. Is she giving him a look right now?
Nadaserine's dealt with Wilfred enough. She
Okay.
Yeah, I say we knew each other for a
It's
while.
an eye roll, if anything. Like,
Yeah, probably just like this.
Yeah. Hey, well, things have been well. Very well.
That's good. I'm
Um,
glad I became a bit worried when I was told how long we've been gone.
yeah.
There's, a great deal of many things can happen in that amount of time.
Yeah. But,
I do pray that and hope that it's the influence of the fragments that's influencing his sudden decision to expand and the madness from it, and not potentially him becoming our chosen enemy. Though I think we probably would have known upon going back to the city if we were wanted by the king.
yeah. He's been keeping tabs. He's actually paid a few visits to y'all's keep. Wondering why there's been no, Green Devil incidents.
Perhaps we should try and pay a visit to the king as well. You say he's in Rule, or where it was.
Last I was told, him and an expedition crew went out there. They've been doing multiple expeditions, just doing general cleanup and schematic planning.
Kind of look over to Naraserine. What say you? Should we visit home and then go over to Rule and see if we can find the king?
Just me and you speak to the king, not the group?
We can relay to the group and have them come meet us halfway. They have means of traveling expeditiously.
True, but I did enjoy the little bit of flying. I don't mind flying from home back to the keep.
Hmm.
Feels good to, get back in shape.
We could always just, when we get back home, rest and then journey to Rule afterwards.
That would be ideal. It's a little bit past midday.
Yes.
Well, I see no reason for me to hold y'all any longer. Go see your pops.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. One last thing.
Hey,
Just take out, like, one of the safer flowers I just idly picked
Uh-huh.
from the Faewild. Give that to me when you see her.
hey,
That'll
sure
always show
thing.
me.
And he just kind of goes over and like takes a little bit of water, pops in like a little vase and everything. I'll make sure that when Mia gets back and some free time, she heads over to the keep.
Mhm.
Be safe, my friend. Be safe, my boy.
Yeah. Always. Me too.
So, you and Artis head out?
Mhm.
Cool. Let's see. Prok.
Sir, yes, sir.
You've been strolling around. Like, what are you trying to do in the mountains?
Yeah, I'm going to find my pet. I'm just walking around screaming, "Big man! Big man! Big man!" as loud as I possibly can with my sword out, just waving it around.
Like, while you're screaming, you notice that there are creatures that would eye you. Like, there were some something scuttering on the rocks, but as you just continue screaming and the sight of of fucking intimidating half-orc is not it's not the risk most creatures are willing to try to eat. You continue screaming to no real avail.
Wonder where she died at. It don't matter. I look around. Is there any creatures in my sight?
You can see there is like it seems to be kind of like this large, almost like it's like a lizard. It's almost like a titanite lizard from Dark Souls.
I walk up to it. I attempt to walk up to it.
Yeah, it's not a
I put my
fast.
sword away.
It's not a fast-moving creature, and it's not too big. It's probably about like 5 feet long. Fairly flat. It's like a large salamander with like a crystal protruding on its back.
I pick it up by the tail and I hold it up.
Like you just kind of see the legs just trying to walk away.
Huh. I put it around my neck.
It's, well, I would say it's heavy, but well, it's not much to you.
Start scratching my chin. Guess she ain't here. That's alright. To Calamite. Starting to walk to the swamp.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta love Prog, jealous. At this
We
point,
all do.
yeah. At this point, it's beginning to become evening, and as you're just kind of sitting there relaxing on the balcony, Lelelele, you see, like, as you're like staring out to the courtyard in front, you see Jasper. He is what used to be like hair tied into like somewhat of a man bun is now just kind of like this disheveled mess, and the clean shaven face is now just like this layer of scruff. But he looks like a menace. Like he looks way different than he did when y'all left. When he was like he used to be like slim, fit, like like fairly fit. He is like buff. He is definitely beefed up, and you can tell with that walk. Like it's just a straightforward gaze, and it's just like this very slow, methodical walk.
I'm going to kind of drop down from my seat from the the balcony of the keep, down to the courtyard where I assume he's just straight in front of me.
Yeah, like he was like going to like enter the keep, and you just kind of pop down, and he just kind of looks over, like just an expressionless face.
Hi.
I'm glad you're back.
I'm happy to see you. I'm out of character. Did you say? I feel like it kept on switching. Is it Casper or Jasper?
His real name's Jasper. Prok calls him Casper.
Okay, okay. Good. Cleared up once again for me. Thank you. It's good to see you, Jasper. Just how have you been handling things? I kind of tilt my head. My hand's kind of like behind my back, just to be as gentle as I can.
Yeah. Handling.
I just kind of approach him, and I just give him the most earnest hug I can. My face is in his chest, and I would, without looking at him, I say, when I don't know if I have any right to speak, but when I lost my mother, I felt hopeless. I know you're probably feeling the same too, and I won't try to change that for you, because, well, this, I understand, but just, we're here for you.
Just kind of sets his hand on your shoulder. Later tonight. Do you remember that, there's an old building by the cliffside? Prok brought me there once to train. Would you like to go there and spar?
I would love that.
Good.
I unhand him and take a few steps back. And I close my eyes and nod.
And he kind of goes to the door and like puts his hand to push it open. Just kind of looks back to you.
It's brighter days, my friend.
Did you make any progress while you were gone?
Progress? How?
This battling those gods and those things.
Yeah, I guess we did. I would say we did a lot. But I think life can be a little more complicated than just progress and all that. I think I can say we did as a party.
That's good. Hey, Lelelele?
What is it, my friend?
When we spar tonight, don't blame yourself, okay?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You see him kind of give this slight smile, and he just walks inside.
Can I
Insight?
Can I roll insight? Thank you. That's what insight. Can I insight check what his intent on that, if it implies something?
Go ahead.
All right. Oh dear. Okay.
Wow. Good roll.
Thank you. That's a 19. I'm proficient in it, so do I add my proficiency bonus?
Yes.
Okay, that's a 24.
Whoa. Well, the number should already be with your proficiency.
Blah, 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 blah.
Insight plus
Uh-oh.
3. Oh, okay, never mind. I never filled those in for you. I have to do that at one
Oh.
point. So yeah, it's plus 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, wonderful. Did he...
There's a deeper meaning to it, but you just don't have the context and the knowledge to what it is. But there's an underlining meaning.
Hey, Jasper?
Yes.
What do you mean by that, by the way?
We can discuss it later.
This music's about to fucking change. I know it.
Are you sure? I'm your compatriot after all.
Y'all are like heroes, you know? Saving the day, helping people.
Oh, we're nothing of the sort. I don't even mean that in a modest way.
I don't want you to think her death is on your hands. And Lelelele?
Yes?
I know you're a paladin and all that, but you have the capabilities to, you know, bring people back. Let it rest.
Of course. I wouldn't even think about it.
Thank you. I'm gonna go rest for tonight.
Okay. I'll see you tonight.
Just like the door just kind of closes.
I almost kick myself. And I just lean on the wall and look into the forest again.
Squall,
That is I.
you meet up with Amnesty and your sister.
Is it dusk?
Yeah,
About this time?
it's creeping into dusk. And, she brings y'all out beyond the courtyard, out onto a hilltop with like just this one tree. Amnesty speaks up. Jasper said this is the best place to bury her. When the household was being chaotic with all of you and the others, these two would just go on a walk and sit under the tree and watch the the sunset. He still comes out here every sunset to watch it with her.
Ember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at one point, our own very mother was buried in similar fashion.
Yes.
And we know how we have our customs for how we treat our own dead. And where they go after. Should we do something like that for her, or would you let me honor her in a very brotherly way?
I have never met the individual and I've never really had a tie to it.
I show I cast like a minor illusion like cantrip and show her what she looked like. And I tried, on the other hand, I tried to have Jasper holding hers. And they're just walking, strolling, enjoying the fleeting moment. And they just come to a stop and just hold each other's hand. What do you think?
I believe their bond was very strong.
And I shall give them the root of their bonds. Right. At 6th level, I'm going to pull from my pouch the reagents to cast plant growth, but I want to take the visage of her and mold a tree as if I'm sculpting or wood carving, but it simply grows in the fashion of a human female with one of her hands laid upon her lap. She's kind of like standing down for legs to the side, and she has one open hand as if she was waiting to grasp someone else's. And this tree is looking into the night sky as if it was waiting for its partner to clasp her hand and enjoy the moment. And I sit there and craft the image and try to materialize it through the spell as both of them watch over.
They just watch in silence. Amnesty is like a sniveling mess. Ember, on the other hand, is just quiet, but you can feel like she's very solemn. They're just kind of watching like the spectacle and everything. Would you like to do anything else?
I just make sure everything comes out as should. And I sit there and try to picture what stars she would have been looking at alongside him. And just stay there until either my sister and them both retire, or just stand alongside or sit with me, pondering about them and I guess what's to come.
They both just kind of sit down next to you. And Amnesty kind of speaks up. Jasper looks up to you all. When he saw Prok, he was just like, hey. Oh, you have some like feedback going on in your mic, by the way.
That's my fan.
Ah, okay.
I'm muted this time, don't worry.
He, when he first saw Prok, he just saw an opportunity for free housing and such. But as time went on and Prok besting him in their sparring sessions, he slowly wanted to get to a point where he could be more comparable to you all. He's a much different man than he was when you first met him. And he's a much different man than he was 3 weeks ago.
Yeet, I haven't seen him yet, have I?
You have not.
Explain. I know what loss does, but you say it manifested something else.
He's driven. The one emotional limit that he had is gone. All he has is himself.
No. He has friends. If he wishes it. But that's for him to decide.
Indeed. Shall we retire for the night? It's quite cold.
You ladies can head off. I'm going to think.
Ember.
I will make sure she stays safe until Jasper comes. I owe it to him that much. You're okay with that, yes, Ember? We can leave to this back home tomorrow or whenever.
That is fine with me.
Alright, well, you get some proper rest.
Of
And
course.
feel free to take an actual room in the keep. Probably don't have to be like your brother now. Don't have to sleep in the dirt. You're more elegant than that. Well, than me at least. You know,
Take care,
Shrewd
brother.
is... No, wait.
Mhm.
Shrewd will be very thrilled to see you again. I'm certain.
I'm pretty sure we will pick fights like we used to.
This I'm hoping for. But he's on his own journey, but maybe he paid a trip back. Anyway, I'll see you later. Good night.
Stay well. And they carry on. And the sun begins to kind of creep. And just as, like, the sun is about, like, halfway down through the horizon.
Before the rest of the sun wanes down, I talk to my shadow.
Okay.
7 months, huh?
It's quiet for a moment. Indeed.
You know, the Faewild is not very fair to us mortals. I don't think you really seem to... Well, it doesn't seem to... The passage of time doesn't really seem to bother you as much, does it? I'm sure you get agitated when things don't come expedited and go as quickly as you want, but...
This is simply just a part of my conscience.
I know.
I'm aware of your
Yes.
circumstances. I cannot blame you for such things. It is beyond
So-
your control.
What's changed on your end? If it will impact me or any of my compatriots anyway. Also, I'm going to make sure... Can I just do a perception check to make sure that we are truly alone while I'm talking? Alright. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Yeah. Alright. That's 16.
Gotcha. Don't see anything around. Not much has changed. I simply continue with what I do.
So, the mother is fine in your realm, or has she moved on to infect her own chaos? I know she resides there, or did.
She's tending to matters other than here. But the question is, what will you do, Max?
Well, I don't know how much of what you see whenever I go to put myself in someone else's shoes and see what they're doing to get a feel of what next decision is. I'm sure you do the same thing, but on a grander scale of all of your own allies and minions. But these people, this group, this family, they're my friends. I don't know if you get the same extension of feeling due to you being a different entity than me, but do you feel for those lesser or around you? Or is there simply just merit to be gained?
There are only
What is your true greed? Because mine is my friends.
all that work under mirror, such as you. Just a tool. When a tool
Insight
is
check.
broken, it can be
Insight check.
replaced. Go ahead.
It's gonna be hard, but 28.
Going to be hard, he says. Seems like his words are true.
So not one instance in your existence you felt compulsion other than the use of pawns and tools and assets.
There was a time when I had thoughts like yours, but there's no benefit of holding such connections now.
So the cycles broke you, is what you're saying. I'm going to become just like you. A broken shell of power, compulsion, and forever greed. No. You could have been better. I can be better. If you want this damn job done, hear this. Do something to benefit yourself. Not through all the troves and hordes of wealth and knowledge and power you possess. Seek something greater. Something that truly makes you feel like you're existing in this moment. Because my mortality is waning. And even the stars die. So make it last. Search for what you lost, if it ever was. I'll uphold my bargain. You have my word. I'll stop talking.
There's an awkward silence for quite some time, till you begin to hear footsteps. And you see a figure sit next to you, looking over. You see what seems to be Jasper, much different, much scruffier. I assume this is your doing?
Yes. Would you like a seat?
I'm good as I am.
I'm still trying to absorb what just happened. Take it all in. There's still something I won't truly understand and appreciate, but what did occur was rooted deeply. I simply wish to honor you and her. That is all.
I thank you, Squall. Don't blame yourselves. You were gone, doing what you always do. Fighting gods, challenging demons, whatever it is. I was simply trying to catch up. I could have gone with her. Maybe I could have made a difference. But the events have already passed.
What matters, Jasper, this applies to both of us, is what they would want us to do next. I don't know. For what my ancestors and all the people I've tried to protect and were gone. I simply tried to upheed what is right, seeking necessities and power and knowledge to bolster those promises if I can keep them. That's all I can do. That is all I can muster in the face of things that you can only dream of. However, we still should be here to help the common. I take that back. Everyone needs someone to look up to. And you remind me of who I should be. Better. And I wish you all that I can muster. But right now, what you need, you don't want to hear it, but you need your love. We love you, Casper. We'll do better. Or we'll die trying.
Jasper
Thank you.
just
And I'll start to walk away.
goes to
But I
reach
listen.
out to put his hand on your shoulder, but you begin to walk away, and he just
No. When he goes to reach, I hear him. Right.
okay.
Stop a little bit.
He just kind of rests his hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry. And good luck. Stay warm tonight.
Give him a very, very ever so subtle nod without making eye contact. And I'll proceed on.
All right. Kain. You've been flying for quite some time. Dusk has passed and night is creeping up ever so slowly. The moon is a small crescent. the cold air whips past you, and you pretty much become numb to it at this point. You just have gotten used to it flying for this long now.
Mhm.
And in the distance, you can see where the cabin is, and the chimney. You see smoke. Not as Serene speaks up. Do we go?
I think so.
She takes her time with the landing, eventually touching down, reverting herself into her human form. And she just kind of looks to you and just kind of nods to the door.
Just start making my way up somewhat slowly.
You're able to catch a smell of like food being cooked.
Mhm. Gonna kind of knock when I get to the door.
You nod. And the door slightly opens, seemingly an invitation.
I look back to her.
She gives a light nod.
Open the door and step inside.
You step inside. You see the house that was just this kind of abandoned, ramshackle place, now organized and cleaned. Over the fire, seems to be like a little pot of stew being made. You look over to the man tending to the pot. Just this salt and pepper fluff of hair just kind of goes down to about a little bit past the neck. Currently just like looking to the pot, tending to it with their left arm.
Does it look like him?
He looks a bit different from what you recall.
Hmm.
Then he speaks up. I'm glad you made it safe.
Dad?
Yes.
Just kind of briskly walk over and just give him a hug.
He stays tending to the pot as you just like kind of hug him. He just kind of exhales. You've gone through so much.
You could say the same.
He kind of turns to look to you. You can see the age now. is this old man, but with this light smile that he used to greet you with when you were younger, and always this like sense of encouragement begins to kind of like build up in you. Well, at least one of us came out of it stronger.
What do you... I look down at him.
I gave it all up.
Why?
No point anymore.
Hmm.
The one problem is gone. I can come back.
Well, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's interesting being mortal again.
Yeah, I bet it is. A lot's happened. I don't know where to start.
I've been watching. I'm proud of you. Holding that thing and
Yeah.
it must take a great deal of willpower.
There were a few times I slept, but yeah.
But you're not done yet.
No.
Keep pushing. I have faith in you and your friends. All that I ask is one favor. Whenever you get around to fighting Aeon, you kind of watch as he takes a pendant from like his neck, just sets it in your hand. Could you tell him Sir Mourwin sends his regards?
Of course.
How about we have a meal?
Yeah.
As a family.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You all take your time making getting each of you a bowl of stew. And you all spend the night conversing, reminiscing, enjoying the company of one another until you all fall asleep. Lelelele.
Yes, I'm here.
You make your way up to the cliffside. You see Jasper standing there, just looking out into like the ocean. was starting to worry you wouldn't come.
I'm not used to walking out this far. Not normally. I'm sorry I'm late.
My apologies for the inconvenience.
No, not at all. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. I'm happy to be here with you. you know, I actually use this time to try to brush up on drawing something. You want to see it?
I'd love to.
I kind of messily take out my journal, and I kind of skim through the pages. I've been trying my best to remember what my dad looked like. It's kind of funny. I don't really I don't really know what he looked like, but I tried my best at it. I show him the page. This is I was able to get something out. It's not much. Yeah, it's just a bunch of scribbles. But I mean, I think I'm improving. Yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I close the journal and stuff it back in my pouch. Well, okay, I'm ready to spar, you said?
We're similar in a lot of ways.
How so?
You're powerful.
I guess in a superficial kind of way. Yeah.
But you want to keep going. You want more.
I pause at these words. A little bit. Yeah, just a bit more.
I'm the same way.
Really? You want to be stronger?
Yeah.
I understand that. I get that feeling. I really do, honestly. I assume he's sitting like looking over the moon, I suppose.
He's not sitting. He's
Or is
just
he?
standing with like his arms crossed behind his back. Like there's
Okay.
a long sword embedded in the dirt.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll go up to, I'll just go up to his right and look over the horizon as well.
No one knows what happened to her.
Yeah, I heard. This world has been crazy, honestly.
There are so many things I didn't know about. I've heard you talk about the cycles, and I never understood anything about it.
Honestly, I'm still taken aback by it.
But I understand now what they mean, what they do. They take parts of you away.
Yeah, they do.
It was my fault.
I don't think it was.
No, it was.
Why do you think so, Jasper?
Because I'm the one who did it.
I look over the horizon for just a moment more, and then I twitch, and I meet eyes with him.
He's not looking in your
What?
direction. He's just still looking over the horizon.
Why do you feel that way?
I don't feel that
I look-
way. It wasn't me. Something came over
So,
me.
I look away from him and look back into the distance. So, something overtook you and controlled you?
No, it didn't control me. It was like it was bursting out of me.
Um,
I didn't know what to do. It needed to be let out. She was right there. She's not the only one.
she's not the only one?
Trading caravans, random travelers over these past 3 weeks. That's why I've been gone so much.
Oh.
This
Well,
desire, this lust for power.
how... I understand. I'm sorry, Casper. Do you...
I understand everything about the cycles. I've seen it all. I know what happens.
So you're just like us?
No. No. You have the potential to go on. And you kind of hear a shuffle. You kind of instinctually look over. He's looking in your direction now. And you can see in his eyes just this deep purple word. And it's an infernal.
Hmm.
It says lust.
I see. Hey, can I ask something first, Casper?
Go on.
Did you want to begin sparring now?
I don't think it's just gonna be sparring.
I understand. It won't be long, I promise.
You have to stop me.
I'll help my friend. I slowly, ever so gently, pull my sword out of its hilt. Or its sheath, I'm sorry.
You watch as he just kind of pulls the sword out of the ground and looks to you. Like I said, don't blame yourself. And that's
I
where
close
we'll end
my
this
eyes.
session.
Okay.
Bro, what?